Good afternoon, folks. Game day. Vegas is in town, and so's Jack. Let's look at it coming up. I've already said my piece about Jack Eichel in yesterday's video, so really I'm not going to go on much about Jack in this video, just for the record. I want to look at the game like it's a game that, for the sake of pride and amongst other things, we should put a good effort out today in this game. And to be honest, I'm worried they're not going to. Really, it's situations like this where I really worry about our team, how we're going to show up in a game with grit and physicality, which we just don't have. And it's going to be a tougher game than it would have to be if we had some real proper role players on this team, which really does worry me going into a game like this and into the game on the weekend, guys. The big game on the weekend also, let's not forget, that's around the corner too, right? We got the Heritage game right around the corner. So this is going to be, I believe, we're going to put right on the forefront what's going on with this team. This is one of those games that the eyes of the NHL will be on our game tonight with Jack Eichel in Buffalo. The eyes of the NHL will be watching this game. And if we come out and look anything like we did against Florida, where we just looked uninterested, lazy, no desire, all that stuff, if we start doing that in this game, you know, what are we going to do except root on the guys and hope that Adams makes the proper changes in this lineup by next year? Because this is ridiculous if we don't come out with any kind of a solid, not just effort, a solid desire. You know, like anybody can just do an effort only, but I want to see a desire to win, because they have to come out in this game, guys, and they have to give us something. They just can't give what they gave last game, and it's just unacceptable as a fan. It is. It's just, come on. Enough is enough, you know? At what point do we get tough? When? How much humiliation do we have to go through? When? And this is what worries me about a game like this, because we're on the forefront as a franchise. The eyes of the NHL are on us basically all week now. They're going to be on us this game, and they're going to be on us in the Heritage game. And if we go out there and we play the fool and we look bad in both games, a joke in both games, we deserve the ridicule we get. We just do. Maybe not us as fans, but the organization deserves the ridicule they're going to get if we go out and we play two flat efforts with no grit and no heart and no drive. And, you know, we at some point, where does the tenacity come in this locker room? When? What are we going to try and win on, guys? Skill? Really? You don't win Stanley Cups on skill. You just don't, okay? You win on skill and other aspects. You don't just win on skill. No team does. How many skilled teams have not won a Stanley Cup because they lack that grit? Ask San Jose about all their great seasons, what they lack come playoff time every time. We've got to fix this. And this is really a sense of urgency kind of video, more than anything. Because I'm going into this game and I'm thinking, you know, are we going to look the fool again? Really? Because I'm expecting God knows what going into this one. I want to see the boys win this. I really hope they somehow pull it out today. We don't even have a damn captain at this point, which I think is ridiculous. I do. You know, I mean, what are we going to roll out the red carpet because Jack left till he's settled in to Vegas before we decide to get a captain? Let's just do it. And I'm also worried that we're not going to address these issues in the offseason. That worries me a lot. This is something that's been going on in my head, guys, for about a week. You know, it's been going on in my head. I'm getting worried about the offseason because the Sabres got to do something. They can't continue to do this. They can't. It's bad enough that they talk about stuff like we care. I don't care if Gergensen's coming back, and I got nothing against him. But don't talk to me like that's the big news of the day of the Sabres. Like, I could care less. You know, go out and acquire somebody with some muscle and bring him into our lineup. This is what we need. We need some kind of enforcement inside our dressing room. We need some guys like this. We need some enforcers, okay? And I'm not talking guys that are going to go out and punch guys in the head. I'm talking guys that are going to force the play on others. We don't do that, guys. Take a look how we're going to play in our zone today if we lose. Take a good look. Take a good look. Watch when we're trying to clear the puck and we're doing the little razzle-dazzle in the zone and we turn it over. We get it again, we turn it over again. We get it again, we turn it over again. It's like, God, when does it end? When? This is something that rolls on in my head and it drives me nuts. It does. I'm pissed off. The game hasn't started yet. You know, because I find that we're easy prey. I find that we're easy prey. Do I think we can win the game? Of course, it's a hockey game. Anything can happen in a hockey game. But the odds are we won't. Because they're coming into a building that's not very intimidating, okay? It's not intimidating. I wouldn't expect like a sellout crowd today because I think the fans just don't care. They've had it with this crap. They've had it. Really, they've had it with this. You know, it took a pandemic for some of the Buffalo fans to say, you know what, I'm not spending my money on this with this whole pandemic going on. And no. Like, no. It'd be different if the team was contending, of course. But I look at what's going on overall this season, and I see a team that's terrible in our zone. We're terrible in our zone. Terrible. We got to be the worst in almost every statistic there. We're the worst. Worst defensive team in hockey. Then I look at forwards. About half our forwards shouldn't even be on this team. Really, guys? And, you know, there's no point in me throwing out names. You guys know who they are. Just look at their hits and look at their goals and look at their games played, and there you go. There you go. How many of these guys bring grit to their game? How many? And people say we're in a different era. We sure as hell are. The Sabres are, okay? The Sabres are. We're in a whole different stratosphere than other hockey teams right now. We need to get this team tougher, okay? And this is something it drives me nuts going into games like this week where we don't have a guy in our lineup that can go out there and scare the opposition. We have nobody. We have nobody. Adams has left us naked in that department completely. And what are we going to do? We're going to continue to just pretend that we don't need these type of guys in our lineup? Are we really going to be that dumb? I don't think so. The Buffalo fans have watched hockey way too long and they know better. So what is management doing? What are they doing going into this game today? And this is what I'm preparing myself for. I'm preparing myself for the worst in case it happens, yes. Because I don't like, when I look at our roster, and I look at it, it sickens me, guys. It does. I get it's not a very talented roster, but there's no excuse that there couldn't be, for the price that we're paying, more of a tough team slapped together than this. I get we have some high-end talent. I get it. I totally get it, guys. I get it. We do. We have some good young studs on this team. We do. But are we going to raise them in an environment where they're not protected and where our team's easy to play against defensively? All they have to do, other teams, is start throwing the body at us. Game over. Game over. And Vegas is capable. I know they're not one of the highest hitting teams in hockey, but they're more than capable of finishing their checks compared to what we do. I'll tell you that. And I'm hoping, okay, that there's some sort of a spiritual realm come about the boys today, and they just desperately do not want to lose no matter what today. I'm hoping that kind of hits the dressing room at a certain point of the game. Because, guys, if I see this 3-4-0 thing happen, and we're just doing the la-di-da thing in our zone again, I'm going to be disgusted more than anything. You know, I'm tired of it all, guys. I really am. So I'm hoping the boys today put out a good effort, and I'm hoping they find it within themselves, okay, to play hard-nosed hockey, even for 1 or 2 games this week, because the odds are we're not going to. The odds are. But we will see, all right? So, yeah, I'm going in. I'm hoping for the win. I'm hoping that even if we steal it with goaltending, whatever it takes, just win this game somehow, okay? Just win it. But if we don't, and it's because of what I always bitch about, which is the lack of physicality, the lack of grit, the lack of intensity, the lack of desire to not lose. Yeah, I'm going to be ticked. Who wouldn't be? I'm a fan, right? So, all right, just some pregame thoughts, okay? I'll see you guys after the game. Let's hope that the boys get them. Put it out there, guys. Put your heart out there today, please. See you in the postgame, guys.